All right, so the Blue Jays win 10-1 in the first ALDS game of their season. All right, so basically it was a blown-out game as the Blue Jays won 10-1. They had really good pitching and they had really good batting. So we'll just walk you through it, and yeah.
It didn't start that way though, did it, Bryce?
No, it did not.
It ended in a blowout, but it was very much a game for a good chunk of the innings, right? So why don't we start with Kevin Gausman?
All right. So Kevin Gausman pitched really well through the start of the game. He got 3 strikeouts and he pitched 5.2 innings. He let 4 hits. He only had 1 run scored on him. He had that was his 1 ERA. He had 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. So that's a really good outing for him, as through the portion of it until the 5th inning. The 5th inning was really rough. So the 5th inning,
I think it was the 6th. I think it was the 6th when things started to. He was going really well. I think at one point he had his pitch count was super low. We wrote it down here. What did he have? He had 41 pitches after 4 innings, about 50 after 5, and then he gets to the top of the 6th. And that's when the trouble starts, right? Yankees bottom of the order, right?
Yeah.
All right, take us through that.
Anthony Volpe, so he doubled to left field. So now you got a man on second, with no out, and then Austin Miles singles, and then Anthony Volpe advances to third. So you got runners on the corners.
Yep, runners on the corners. Yep, and then
Trent Grisham.
Grisham was up, right?
Yeah, Grisham.
Yeah.
So he walked, and then bases were loaded, and then here's when Aaron Judge comes up, and this is a big out, so Kevin Gausman's worried, and then I think down and away splitter, and they get Aaron Judge.
Yeah, that was a huge out, right? You could feel the tension. The game, it's 2-0 at that point, right? Or no, it's 2-0, and Judge is there, bases are loaded, and the whole narrative we've been hearing about the Yankees or the Blue Jays, well, it's going to be a tight series, but it's going to be the Yankees' power. We've been hearing from New York and American national media. Look, it's going to be the Yankees' power that takes over. So here's a chance, a prime opportunity, touting Judge. He's the best hitter in baseball, a right-handed hitter in baseball, 4 seasons of 50-plus home runs. Here's the big stage for him, bases loaded, and then what happens?
He strikes out on a splitter down low.
Down low, right? So, okay, but that's only one of the Yankees hitters. So then next up is Bellinger. He walks, and then Schneider comes out and gets Gausman, said, okay, enough's enough, right? So it's 2-1, still a very close game, and then who shows up to the plate?
And then Ben Rice, he's coming in, and
he's been hot, right? He's been playing well.
He's playing really well.
Yeah.
And then he pops up to third base, and nothing happens. So that's 2 out. With
2 out.
The bases loaded, and they've only got 1 run, and that's not even a hit. That's just a walk in.
Right. And then here comes one of their other power brothers, right?
Mm-hmm. Giancarlo Stanton.
Now, to be fair, Gausman's out, and who's in?
Louis Varland.
Right. So Varland's in. He gets Rice to pop out, and now there's 2 out. Bases are still loaded. It's a 2-1 game. And here's the other high-priced Yankee, Giancarlo Stanton.
Mm-hmm. And then, so it's a pretty good battle. And then Louis Varland blows a fastball by him, 101 miles an hour, and strikes Giancarlo Stanton out for the 3rd out of the inning, and they get out of it with only 1 run allowed.
Get out of the jam there. Right, and so Yankees power bats, 2 strikeouts, right, in a big inning, right? It seems like everybody else who's not really considered power managed to get on base, but Judge and Stanton don't, and of course Ben Rice doesn't either. And then and then the game just starts to turn from there, right? We get into the 8th or the 7th, and the Jays just start doing what the Blue Jays do. They start at the bottom of towards the bottom of the lineup. Var shows up. He was batting 6th, I think, 6th or 7th.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. So he gets on, and then, then it's Santander who singles. So now you got runners at the corners, similar to the top of the 6th inning, right? But here's the difference: the Jays don't just get one run; the Jays tack on 4 more, right?
Yeah.
And it's not until they get all the way from Dalton Varsho all the way through the lineup up to Addison Barger that they finally get out of it. But big hits by Andre Jimenez, Anthony Santander, George Springer pulls the walk, and then of course, how could we forget the huge double
by
Nathan Lukes, right? That was one that you get 2 runs off of, right, to really kind of break it open, right? We go from 3-1 to 5-1, and then for good measure, he's already got a home run in the game, but Vladdy hits the sac fly.
Yeah.
Right? So. And
they're going into that inning with a 1-run lead, and they come out with a 5-run lead. That's huge inning for them.
And then
Who
was pitching in the 8th? I'm trying to remember that.
I'm not sure.
Who goes in here? Let's just see here. So it was Varland. Was it Sir Anthony Dominguez? I'm trying to remember here now.
I don't know.
Let's just check this out. Because it was Varland came in and got Rice, and he got Giancarlo Stanton, right? I think it was Dominguez. Yeah, I think he pitched the 7th. And then Little did the 8th. So we'll get to this in a bit, but the 9th, this is what confused me, was Jeff Hoffman in the 9th. But let's go back to let's go back to that 8th inning, right? So it's already 6-1, and then the Blue Jays just pile on, right? Top of the 8th, Judge manages to get something going here. He doubles to center field, but then nobody else supports him. Bellinger pops up. Ben Rice flies out, and any sort of counter punch on the road, even just sort of trying to build momentum. You're down 6-1. Can you get a couple? Can you make it a game? Can you force the Jays to sort of bring in some of their high leverage guys? I mean, I think they kind of did anyway, but there's no. It was listless. Like the offense, the big Yankees offense, the big scary machine, didn't show up today.
And then after that, it's the bottom of the 8th. Alejandro Kirk is another home run. And then they keep tacking on. And after
second of the game, right?
Yeah, second of the game.
Right. And what was the stat line about in the last 10 at-bats? Did you hear this about Kirk?
No.
So in the last 10 at-bats, including that home run, he's hit 5 home runs. When you think of those last few games against Tampa, to secure the division, and then this game he hits 2 home runs in this game. So he's hitting 500 for home runs in his last 10 at bats.
That's insane.
Talk about getting hot at the right time, right? And then Andre Jimenez with the double, Ernie Clement with a sac fly, Nathan Lukes with a single, Vladdy comes back up, adds a single there too as well, and then but at that point now it's 10-1, and the Yankees are thinking, what happened? Right? This went from a 2-1 tight game, bases loaded, your power guys are coming up, and they're looking in the mirror going, 10-1, what did we do? What happened? But that's the Blue Jays, right?
And then this part's weird because the top of the 9th, they're up by 9. And then they bring in Jeff Hoffman, which...
Yeah, it surprised me, right? Maybe he was just tired, but I thought, or not tired. Maybe they just wanted to get him loose or something. But how many pitches does Hoffman throw in that 9th? Maybe about 8 or 9. Let's just see here. What has he got here? But it's surprising, right? Because it's a 5-game series. In theory, you might need him 3 or 4 more other times. So I was surprised. I mean, I don't know what the thought process was there. He ends up throwing. He throws 17 pitches, which is not nothing, right? So 11 for strikes. But so we have the pitching line is Gausman for 75, and then the Jays use 4 more pitchers. Varland for 16. Domingman is only for 7, so that's a pretty light night for him. Brennan Little only 14, and then Hoffman's in for 17. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, right? We got Tracy Savage tomorrow, but I think so. If we sort of add up all the relievers there, that's probably about 50 pitches from the relievers for the Jays. Now let's take a look at what that was for New York, right? They go through Luis Gil. I think that's how they were pronouncing his name. He only threw 48 pitches over 2 2/3. And then the Yankees use 5 of their relievers. I mean, probably not their most high leverage guys. Although, you know, Hill and Doval and Weaver, you got to remember the game when they were playing, the game was still very much in question. That was sort of that 2-0 lead, 2-1 lead. They're trying to keep it close. And then it just sort of all unravels. And so Jays relievers are, we said, about 50 pitches. Yankees relievers are 41, 51, 67. Let's just call it well over 100 pitches from their relievers. Now, I wonder if Blackburn was just sort of mopping up there in the 8th. But, yeah.
And then let's go to the start of the game. And who was it again? Gil?
Starter, yeah. I thought you said star. He was definitely not the start of the game. 2 home runs early, right? And shaky pitching. I think who else had got on? Because Vladdy homered, Alejandro homered, and then was it Lucas who sort of got on maybe in the 2nd? Let's just go back to the summary here.
And I think the Vladdy homer is what really woke them up, because Vladdy's been quiet the last few games, and they really needed that from him, because that was a big play of the game. Right.
So it wasn't in the 2nd, it was the 3rd that they pull him. So he got 2 quick outs. He got Springer out and he got Lucas out, but then Vladdy gets on with a single to right, and then Barger also, I think it was that infield, that slow kind of roller chopper, and he just ran it out. So now there's 2 on, and I think it's at that point that Gil comes out of the game, and that's when who's that guy who looked like the old dude? The reliever for the Yankees. I forget what his name is, but they bring him in, and he manages to get them out of the inning there. Hill. Yeah. So all in all, so they're back tomorrow. And who's on the mound for the Jays tomorrow?
Trey Savage.
Okay, and do we know who he's going up against? Is he going against Fried, or is he going up against...
I think he's going against Fried, probably.
Okay.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah. Or no, maybe not. I think Max Fried pitched on Thursday, so he probably not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to see who the projected starters are for tomorrow. I don't know if it'll say here. Yeah, okay, they're thinking Fried and Yasavage. Yeah, so that'll be a good matchup. Yasavage will be new for the Yankees. They have never seen him, and they haven't been able to practice with... apparently there's this crazy pitching machine. It's called Traject or something like that. The Yankees have one in their ballpark, but they don't travel with one, right? And what it does is it emulates opposing pitchers. So I don't think they've had the chance to, because they've been trying to battle for their lives in the wild card with the Red Sox, which went through the full 3 games, which was fantastic. So we'll just have to see how Yasavage meets the moment tomorrow. I mean, game time's same time, 4:08.
And Yasavage is new to the league, so many teams haven't faced him, so that will be a bit of a challenge for the Yankees.
Yeah, absolutely. So it should be an interesting series. So let's see if hopefully the Jays have a bit more in the tank too after 10 runs. We'll see why they couldn't save a few of those for tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. All right, where else anything else we should cover for tonight?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow after Game 2 of the ALDS, and we'll see. Hopefully, we're talking about 2-0 Jays lead.
All right. Let's see.